Sadie, what in the world did Chris do to you? He gave you a mohawk. Oh my goodness. Sadie, you look like a gremlin. What are you doing? You look like a gremlin. We're gonna have to put you in a movie. What did he do to your hair? I don't know what that is all about. What are you doing? Quit biting his shirt. I see your pink doggy back. Oh my gosh, look at your hair. That is horrible. Please tell me he's not done. We're going to have a talk. Yeah, he can't be done. I see your pink doggy back there. Where's your pink doggy? It's back here. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get your pink doggy. That's your bone. I don't want your bone. Here I go, Sadie. Look. Sadie. I'm going to get your pink doggy. Oh, her hair is horrible. Here I come. I'm going to get your pink doggy. Oh, she's all about the bone right now. Okay. There's your pink doggy. Oh my goodness, that hair. We are going to have to. I mean, what is he doing? Surely he's not finished. We're going to have to find you a groomer. We'll get the bone. All right. She's mad about the haircut, aren't you? You mad about the haircut, Sadie Sue? She's ignoring me. Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today I'm here with the awesome jewelry challenge for March. So, if you guys have followed me on, well, you followed my journey these last few weeks, you know that I'm moving. We're actually out of our old house. We are living with my in-laws, so I am going to try to film this video. I am not in my own setup right now. I don't have most of my jewelry stuff is packed in storage, so I kept out just a few things, and I'm going to try and see if I can get this video done. So this is the monthly jewelry challenge. There are several of us ladies collaborating in this, and I wanted to apologize to Terry and V because I did not realize that you guys had joined the challenge last month when I filmed the video. I went back and added you to my notification box below, the description box, but when I filmed the video, did not realize you guys had joined the challenge. I had no idea. I don't know if there was an email that I missed or what happened, but anyway, I wanted to apologize because I would never have left you guys out of my video when I mentioned everybody. So I'm going to mention everybody right now. It will be in the description box below, but this is hosted by Angela from Pirate Pretty's Jewelry, and then Brittany from Turquoise Street, Sarah from Sarah's Jewelry Studio, Nina from Spanglish Beadcaps. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope I am. Terry from Tapping Flamingo, and V from V Willis Designs. We're all collaborating, and we have a little chart that we're going by. So this month, the color that we needed to use was green, obviously for St. Patrick's Day. And then the metals were either gold or bronze. And the theme was luck or clovers. So I have come up with, okay, so I did not have anything that had a 4-leaf clover on it, but I did have this finding, and I thought this looked very similar to a 4-leaf clover, so we're going to use that. We're going to make a very long tassel style opera length necklace today. Okay, so I've got this finding, and then I'm using beads from the bargain bead box this month because I have no beads out, and all I have is my bargain bead box and my Sam's bead box. So bargain bead box, I will put the information in the description box below. You get beautiful beads every month. So usually gemstones. These are gemstone beads. These I believe are agate, and these might have been jade. I don't even have my paper. So and then these beautiful rondelles. So I'm using all of these. I've already created little links, but I am going to show you how I did that because we need to create a couple more. I have some chain. This is just a gold curb chain. It's very simple chain, just small little links, and we're going to make a tassel that's going to hang on the end of this piece. I have some eye pins and some head pins. You'll need several. I have these little bead caps. These are available on my website if you're interested. I have them in like 5 different metal colors, but I'm using some of those. I've got jump rings. I do have a lobster clasp that came in my, thank God, I got my Adornable Elements box and these were in there. So, because otherwise I wouldn't have even had a clasp out. It's just been crazy. And then of course my jewelry tools. So I think that's everything, and some jump rings. I've got different sizes of jump rings. I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but we'll see. So if you're interested in making this necklace, we're going to get right into it. So first off, what I have done is I have taken this chain and I have cut it, and I'm going to show you. The best way to cut your chain, here's a little tip. You take the piece, and I'm going to thread this on here. I'm sorry, I know my hand is in the way, but I'm going to thread it on. So you take the piece that you want to cut. Now, if you're wanting to cut even lengths, you hang it on an eye pin, and then you're going to put your next piece on it and you can hold it up and see exactly where to cut. What I have done, I've already cut these ahead of time, so let me string them on here and I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to string them on one of these small eye pins because that's what I'm going to use. So I have varied the lengths so they go into a point. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I can get it on here. The lighting in my in-laws' house is not ideal. It is very dark. They keep it dark in here, and I've got like literally four lamps beside me on this table, and I still can't see what I'm doing very well. So I'm sorry if the lighting is off in this video. I am just really kind of handicapped right now. But when we get moved, it's going to be great, and I'm excited for it. I'm going to have a very large 19 by 12 beading room, which I've never had anything like that before. And yeah, I'm real excited about it, but it's a little bit of a transition. Oh, now I mixed those two up. Which one is the shorter one? We'll hang it on here and see, and I'll be able to tell. So this is a great way to cut chain, like I said, and I, of course, picked the shortest one. You can hang it on an eye pin, and then you can cut your lengths, and you don't have to guess, you don't have to count, you don't have to try to measure. You just have it hanging there, and you can cut the lengths as you need them. So that's what I've done. I've done that ahead of time, so you didn't have to watch me do it. But I've taken all these little lengths, and if you can see, they make a little point there. They go down and back up. So that's how I'm cutting them to make my little tassel that's going to hang on the bottom of this. Now, I'm using a smaller eye pin, and I debated using a head pin. I'm not quite sure how I want to hang this. I think I'm going to make it have a little triangle down here, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to take these back off. We may think about that for a few minutes. Okay, but that is how you need to cut your chain if you want to make it like I'm doing it with the little point at the bottom. And then what I've done is I've taken all of these beads, and the pattern that I've created for these is this little guy, this rondelle, and then this, I believe this is jade. Okay, so the agate bead, the rondelle, and the jade. And I haven't done my agate beads yet because I'm going to put bead caps on them, and I did not have my bead caps out, and I couldn't find them, so I finally found them. So I'm just going to make a pattern of this all the way up, however long I want it to be. And I want it to be fairly long. This is going to be a pretty long necklace. So agate bead, and I know I'm off the screen now, but you get the idea because you can see this. Rondelle and jade bead, agate bead, rondelle, and jade bead. Okay? So we're going to make a bunch of links. So let me show you how I do this. I do not have my one-step looper here with me, so I'm just going to show you how I would do this, just the old-fashioned way. If I had my one-step looper, I would show you both ways. I have done that in other videos, so you can go back and watch and see it in other videos. But I'm going to put my bead cap on right here, and my little my little agate bead, and then my other bead cap. I'm very, very fond of these bead caps. I don't like bead caps to overpower the bead, and I feel like that these are really a good size. And then I'm just going to come up here just a tiny bit above my bead, just enough room to make a bend, and I'm going to make a bend. Then I am going to take my cutters, And I like my loops to be fairly small, so I don't leave a huge amount of wire. But as you can see from my fingernail to the cutter, that's how long that I'm going to cut this. And then I just take my round nose pliers and I grab it down toward the tip because, like I said, I don't want to make a huge loop. And I'm just going to roll this back until till it touches itself. And there's my little loop. And I'm going to do that. I've done it with all of my rondelles and jade beads, but I'm going to go ahead and do that with all of my agate beads now that I have my bead caps here. So I've got a stack of head pins here, and I'm using small ones. If you have small head pins for this, you want to use your small ones so you don't waste your big ones. And I'll do it again, and then I'll finish them up and let you guys finish yours up. So let me... Now the other ones I didn't use bead caps on. I'm just using bead caps on these little agate beads. Okay, so there again, I have my bead caps. I'm going just a tad bit above the bead and making a 90-degree angle like this. I'm taking my cutters and cutting, I don't know how, that's maybe 1/4 of an inch. It's not very big. I don't like big loops, so. And then I'm rolling this back with my pliers. Just like this. Okay, and there's your loop. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of my agate beads, or my agate beads. And it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 agate beads in this little pattern. So if you want to make yours as long as mine and you're using the same beads, you'll have 5 agate beads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rondelles, and 5 jade beads. Okay, so go ahead and make the rest of your links and come right back. One little thing I did want to mention while I'm doing this is you want to, when you do make your 90-degree bend above your bead, you want to keep it fairly close to the bead, like as close as you can get, because if you don't, you will have your bead caps and your bead kind of flopping on there. You don't want there to be a lot of movement in between, you know, the bead cap and the beads. So like this one that I did it a little bit too loose, and if you can see, there's a lot of wiggle room in there. I don't really like that, so I just wanted to mention that, and then we'll finish up doing our little links. Okay, so I have got all of my little links made. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some jump rings, and I'm using smaller jump rings. I prefer little ones, so these I would say, I mean, they're kind of mixed. It's a mixed package, but I'm going to use the small ones out of there. And I would say they're 4mm. I'm actually not sure, but I think they are. So I'm going to take my small jump ring, and I'm going to go ahead and hook my first little link. I'll grab my pliers here. I've actually lost my needle nose pliers, my Xuron needle nose pliers, the ones that I love so much. I have lost them, so I ordered a second pair, and I thought, you know, if I find them in the move, which I hope I do. Now I'm just going to open these and link them together. All of the little beads, all of these little links, I'm linking together, and I'm doing agate, rondelle, and the jade bead. Okay, so I'm just linking them all together by opening their little loops that I've created. The first one I did hook on with a jump ring, but the rest of them I'm just going to link one to the next. But anyway, so I ordered another pair of the needle nose Xuron pliers, and I thought, well, if I find my old ones in the move, I'll either just have a backup pair or I'll gift them to somebody. So, but yeah, I lost them. I don't know where they are. We've just been, so it's just crazy right now. I mean, we have, hopefully, we're going to close on the new house in 10 days. So we have at least a 10-day window that we're going to be here at my in-laws from today. Well, actually, by the time I upload this, it will be the 15th, but I'm filming it on the 14th. So the 14th to the 24th. We're supposed to close on the 24th. I hope to goodness we do. But, yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, I'm closing this up, and I'm just going to link all of these together. And the one thing that I like about using jump rings is they don't bind up, but I don't really want to put jump rings in between each one because that's going to make this like super, super long. And I want it to be long, but I don't want it to be like freakishly long. So I may end up not using all the beads that I've created dangles for here anyway. We'll see. But go ahead and link them together until you get it as long as you want it. And we'll be right back. Okay, so I've got all of my pieces linked together here, and I'm actually using less beads. I left out one rondelle and one jade bead just because this, I think, is long enough. It's about, I'd say 6 or 7 inches. I don't have my ruler here up here with me, but I'd say it's about 6 or 7 inches, just the beaded part right here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create the bottom part here. And I think that I've decided I am going to use an eye pin to do this and make a little triangle type dangle. So here, I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to take this small piece of chain, and this is about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to put it on my eye pin first. Then I'm going to thread on each of my chains that I've already cut. Remember, I was talking about cutting them in the little angled pattern. So that's what I'm threading these onto my eye pin. So there's 2. I'm gonna try to keep them in order so I can get them on there right this time. Whoops. Okay, here's number 3. And number 4. There we go. Number 5. And the reason you can't really just put these on a jump ring, if you didn't want them to have the pattern at the bottom that mine are going to have, then you could just thread them on a jump ring and just make a little tassel. But I want this look right here, and I've got these backwards. So check yours before you hang them for good, because it looks like this one needs to go next. Whoops. There we go. And then this guy. And then this one. Oops. Alright, so here's what I've got. So it's going in a little V-shaped pattern. Do I have it right? Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little 1-inch chain right here, and I'm going to thread the other end of him on the other end of my eye pin, being very careful not to let my pieces fall off. Okay, and when I get this threaded on just like this, then I'm going to just create another loop right here on the end of this eye pin. So I'm just going to do it like I would be making a bead dangle. So I'm just going to bend it at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to cut it about right here. And then I'm just going to roll this loop back with my round nose pliers. Okay, now if you see my loops, do they line up? They don't line up. So what I'm going to do is grab one loop in one plier, one loop in the other plier, just like this, and I'm going to twist them to where they're parallel to each other, just like this. I want both of my loops to hang the same way, and then I'm just going to kind of round this guy out because he's a little wonky looking. Okay, so there's what I've got. I've created this little tassel thingy like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a jump ring and I'm going to hang it right on my pendant piece. Oops, I'm sorry, I knocked the camera. So I'm just taking one of my little 4mm jump rings, just like this. I'm going to find the middle of my little triangle here by turning this upside, whoops. I'm going to make sure that I hold my tassel pieces in my hand, and I'm going to turn this upside down and try to find the middle. I believe it's right here. Now watch my jump ring not want to go through these teeny tiny little rungs. It will go through, I'm sure. And if not, then I'll just put it through the whole little thing. There's always plan B. Yeah, I'm just going to put it through the whole thing. I'm not even going to fight with it. Okay, so I'm just going to put it around my chain, and this can slide back and forth. That does not bother me one bit. I'm going to put it on my pendant piece here and close this up. Maybe. Okay, and make sure that your rings are closed really well in this whole project because you're doing a lot of little jump rings. Okay, so there it is. And I'm not going to like it because it is moving back and forth. So I'm probably going to have to make it hang through the loop. But for right now, we're just going to leave it like that because y'all can go. I don't want to make you sit and watch me try to find that loop. Okay, so now I'm going to make a little piece to hang right here. And which bead do I want to do? I kind of like the rondelle here, but I want to use a head pin because I don't want, I don't need loops on both ends of it. So let me grab a head pin. That's an eye pin in my head pins. Okay, so I'm taking a head pin and I'm going to use the little rondelle here. And I'm just going to make it a dangle, same thing. Just bend this at a 90-degree angle, above the bead. It's still got the wire on it from where it was strung, and I just poked a hole in my finger with it. It's bleeding. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry, guys. I hope if you're like Chris and you pass out at the sight of blood, that might have been difficult for you. I'm sorry. All right, we're going to cut this off right here. You just never know what you're going to get in these videos. And then we're going to roll this back. And you didn't know that you can injure yourself in jewelry making, but you can. Anytime I work with wire, I bleed. I hate working with wire. Not that I'm working with wire right now, but if you see this little piece that's the little wire that was strung on, and that's what I just made a hole in my finger with. Okay, so I'm going to take this little piece right here. I'm just going to hook it directly, no, I'm not. I'm going to have to use a jump ring because that is entirely too small of a hole to get that through. So I'm just going to open a jump ring, take this guy, and I'm going to put it right through this little hole right here. I did have these pieces on my website, but they actually sold out just this week. Okay. And I cannot seem to get it to go through there enough to close up. It will, but I'm just going to have to fight with it for a second. Part of the problem is I can't see in this room. I can't see anything hardly. It's so dark. Okay, there we go. My in-laws, they keep all of their blinds closed, and their house is just so dark. All the lights are off all the time. I don't know. I'm just weird. I like things lit up. Okay. So there we have our little dangle and our little tassel. So that's what this is looking like so far. You know, I may want to make that little dangle longer. And I'm definitely gonna have to fix this tassel. All right, let's fix the tassel. Let's work on this little tassel here. And as you can see, things do not always go as planned. You gotta be flexible. You gotta have a plan B. Whoops. And if something messes up, just take it apart and fix it. It's not that hard. You're not out anything, usually. Okay, so I've got to find the middle of this triangle chain here, my little triangle pieces, and I've got to hang this jump ring on it. Now I do have a teeny tiny thin jump ring here. I maybe ought to use that because that would probably go through there. It is tiny. This is like a 2mm jump ring. But it will probably work to go through this chain pretty easily. So let me find the middle. Grabbing the other ones, and oh my gosh, it's got to be difficult. Come on now. Okay, there we go. All right, let me find the middle of the chain, which I believe is right here. Now, did I get through it? No, I did not. Okay. I still didn't get through it, guys. let me pause this and get this going. Okay, finally. And now I'm just going to stick it through here and close it up. There we go. That is better. I do like that better because it's not flopping around. And I do want to make this longer. I really do. It's just not long enough. So I'm going to save this little dangle because I'll probably make earrings or something later to go with this. So let me grab a couple more, or at least one more of my rondelle beads. So I'm going to do the rondelle bead and the agate bead, I think. And I'll use the little bead caps on the agate bead. So it just needed to hang a little longer, I think. It was too, just too short there. So let's do this. Let's do the rondelle and the agate. I think that'll be better. So again, 90-degree angle. Trim it up here. So I'm actually going to do a video, and I think I'm probably going to do it while I'm in transition because I have all of my findings that I kept out in front of me, or at least my big box that I keep most of my findings in. I'm going to do a video for the very, very new people. I have a lot of people on my channel that say I'm a new beader. I get that every day. And I'm going to do a video just explaining the very basics. So you veteran people may not care for that, but I think that it's a good thing to do. I met a guy yesterday. He's actually the chimney sweep. I'm trying to hook this on here while I'm talking. The chimney sweep that came to do our, to clean out our chimney while we're, you know, for the move, for the new people moving in. And he, shout out to Ed if you're watching. We got to talking, and he said that he makes jewelry too. He makes like primitive jewelry and I don't know, some other stuff. But anyway, he was asking me questions. Yeah, I like that better. It just fills that in better. Okay, so this is what we've got. But anyway, he was saying that I should do a video for new people explaining just the basics because he said, you know, he didn't understand a lot of that stuff and he's having to learn all of it. So I think I am going to do that. That's a really good idea. I've done it in the past, but it's been a long time. So look for that if you're a new beater. So here's what we have. I think this is turning out really pretty. So now, what you need to do now, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the chain right here at the top in a Y shape. So it's going to be a Y shape and then hang down this really long piece. So you kind of need to hold this up on yourself and decide how long you want it to be, how long you want your piece to hang. Now this should be pretty long. I mean, it's meant to be really long. So I'm taking my chain off camera and I am holding it pretty much where I want it, on where I want this to hang on me. And then I'm taking the chain and I'm measuring around my neck to the other side. And it looks to me like it's about, gosh, it's about 24 inches, I would say. So I'm going to cut this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this chain actually, and I'm going to hook it on here on both sides. And I don't even know if I'm going to use the clasp, guys. I think this could just go right over your head. So let me grab a jump ring, and I want, let's see, do I want to hook it with 2 jump rings? I think I do. I think, let me find 2 of these little teeny ones again that are like almost non-existent. These little teeny tiny thing guys, I like them. And I think they'll be really good for this. So I'm going to take this little teeny weeny jump ring and I'm going to hook this guy, this little piece of chain here, and we'll look at that. We'll evaluate whether it needs a clasp here in a minute. And I'm going to hook him right here onto this link. Now you need to make sure that your link is closed really good because you don't want this jump ring to slip out of it. And this is a tiny jump ring. So let me make sure that this is really closed good. Yeah, it is. So there's my teeny tiny jump ring. And then I'm going to take my other jump ring and I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. These are so thin and tiny I can't hardly even see the opening on them. Okay. And I'm going to make sure I keep it on this side because I don't want it to cross over. And then I'm going to hook it on, I'm going to close it up. I think it's closed. I hope. Goodness, I'll have to get a magnifying glass out. I don't even have, I've got my glasses on, but. So that's what we've got. We've got this Y-shaped here with our long piece. Now I'm going to slip this over my head and see. It does. It fits right over my head. And it hangs right exactly where I want it to. So I'm not even going to bother with the clasp on this. I'm just going to, this is one that you could just literally slip right over your head. So here's what it looks like. You know, it's just the long piece. It goes in this Y shape. And then it just goes all the way up. Here's your dangle and your tassel. So I think this turned out really pretty. I like it. It's different. It's kind of unique. And it definitely does say St. Patrick's Day. Now, you could hang, if you wanted to, some little beads from here. I thought about that, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I kind of just like it like it is. I like how this goes in the point down here. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. If you had crystals, you could glue some little green crystals in these little open spots. You can use any filigree piece for this or any connector. So I'm going to try to get these back on my website and stock them again because I think they're really pretty and unique. But that is my necklace for the Awesome Jewelry Challenge for March. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up because that helps YouTube know that I'm putting out content that you like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and ring the bell. The bell will let you know when I upload more videos. If you don't have that bell ring, you'll be subscribed, but it won't notify you when I upload videos. So yeah, anyway, I think this turned out really great, and I'm going to get off here. I'm actually going to try to put out a couple more videos today using stuff from the bargain bead box. So look forward to those, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, so I finally found my picture taking stuff in the garage. So here is this necklace. It is very long, and that's how I want it. And of course the Y shape at the top, you know, is meant to hang down a little, and then it comes down even further. So it's a long opera length necklace. And there is the focal, and there's the tassel. So I really like this one. I like how it turned out. It's very different. I'm trying to get the whole thing in the shot, which is hard, but there it is. So thanks guys for watching. See you in the next video.